Hello everyone, it's Sky, and this video is going to be a little bit of a combination of between my Lantern Rite vlog and my Noelle crafting vlogs on YouTube and TikTok. If you enjoyed my crafting vlogs and you want to make Noelle for yourself, I have my patterns available on Ko-Fi and Etsy. But enough talking around, let's get into this video. Let's see if I can make a Noelle cosplay for under $100. And that's because I'll be a cosplay guest at the Lantern Rite Festival in January. You can come see me as well as other Genshin cosplayers and voice actors in this festival hosted by DFW Host Club. Let's get started! Genshin designs are notoriously a little crazy, so here's how I'm gonna do it. For fabric, I'll be using scraps as well as these thrifted bedsheets for her main fabrics. Look how cheap they are! Next, for some of her smaller pieces like her petticoat, undershirt, gloves, and leggings, I'll be going to AliExpress for those as well as her wig. For her armor pieces, I'll be using any leftover EVA foam that I have, trying not to buy more. Make sure you go ahead and follow this page so you can see all of my Noelle updates and crafting progress. Noelle Cosplay Vlog Update 2. I spent majority of this time patterning out all of her little armor pieces, minus her breastplate, and this took quite a while. And then I began to do her cutouts in foam, just slowly by slowly. And if you're interested in getting a full tutorial on how to make Noelle, plus these patterns I'm showing off here, go ahead and join my Patreon this month. That is patreon.com/SkylineStars to see more. I wish I had more to show, but it's been one of those weeks. I also spent an extra $20 on buying new Plasti Dip and some contact cement, so our budget's a little tight now, but see you next time! How to make foam clay roses. Using my own pattern, I decided to make it a bud and rose petals, so I made the bud and I slowly wrapped around each petal, overlapping them 2 at a time. Here's what it looks like with the first layer of petals. Then I'm going to take the next size up and basically just keep on repeating this pattern, making the petals slightly bigger and overlapping them where there's seams. For this rose, I decided to do 3 different sizes of petals for it, so that's 4 of each size, and I just keep on wrapping them. When you wrap them, you do notice that your rose will sort of turn into a trumpet shape, but that's really easy to just sort of twist and snip off. Slowly work your way around. You don't want to crush the rose like I had done previously, but there's the flat bottom. Foam clay makes this so much easier because you can make them really thin. Here's my first attempt with just EVA foam. After the foam clay is fully dried, you're going to prime it and then paint it. I went ahead and painted it with just acrylic paints because I liked the matte look a lot better. Thanks for watching! How I made Noelle's skirts from Genshin Impact. I started off with draping and patterning, and you can actually get all of the patterns for this cosplay on my Patreon this month, patreon.com/SkylineStars, and I patterned out her skirt, her apron, and her little hip pieces. I went ahead and sewed them together, adding this really pretty lace that I bought, and the bottom skirts turned out, puckery. Let's just say don't mess up machine tension. Anyways, here's how she was looking before she got a nice press, and here's all the little apron triangles, the red pieces, little hip skirts, and everything sewn together. I really like how this apron turned out. It's very 3-dimensional and cool, but here is the final shots. I'll be debuting this cosplay at the Lantern Rite Festival here in Grapevine, hosted by DFW Host Club and Brat Prince Pro. Come check me out! Noelle's Vision Crystal. For the dome shape, I actually used half of a Christmas tree ornament, and the details are all made out of foam. I used contact cement to attach them until they all looked like this. Make sure that you include a little hair in the back, that's always in there forever now. I then painted on the gold details. This is a very painstaking process, but in the end it is totally worth it. For the actual crystal, I did a orange gradient. And then I added these little sparkles just by dotting on some paint. And for the geo design, I actually cut out my pattern that I made, which you can find on Etsy or Ko-Fi, and I traced it on. And then I painted it over with yellow. This is the first layer. It's going to look a little rough. But by the second layer, I had added the highlights, and wow, this really made it shine. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy! So here is the final look at Noelle. I actually didn't end up meeting my budget goal. I was about $30 over, which given for what I had to buy, I used up 1.5 bottles of contact cement all on Noelle, which is a lot of money, sadly, but I still managed to make Noelle for pretty cheap. Honestly, you probably could just buy a Genshin cosplay for the same price, but it's just not going to be the same quality or experience, to be fair. There's a couple of reasons as to why I chose Noelle to make, and one of the main ones was that I was a guest at Lantern Rite Festival here at Grapevine. It was a super great experience, and this is what the second part of this video will be about, is the vlog for that. But I also chose Noelle because I really wanted to test out my skills again and really make another big armor and big sword. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Like any good con day, I started off with some coffee and a wildly inappropriate shirt for YouTube. It's the blurring. What I love most about doing cosplay makeup is I can actually just go like insane. Like I can do so many colors and it's so fun. This cosplay is so very comfortable to ride in, as you can tell. We have the sword back there. I'm not going to show you because I have to reach around. But we're on our way. I'm locked in, loaded. We're getting a drinky. But yeah. So we got to the con around 10. I like to get there early so we have time to set up and troubleshoot any issues, which we had an issue. We brought a 6-foot tablecloth, but it was actually an 8-foot table, so not sorry, I went to go run and get this felt tablecloth you see now. But I went ahead and set up my props. I like to display my props just because people like to come see them. They're like really eye-catching, and honestly, like I'm proud of them and I want to show them off to people. Like here I am right now, luring people into my booth so I can show them my props. So this convention is a one-day convention held on Sunday by the DFW Host Club and Brat Prince Pro. And this was the main room that we were in. The cosplay guests, the voice actor guests, and the main stage were all in one room, which is pretty cool. I like seeing everyone that came in. And speaking of people, there was like a ton of people at this convention. Like just for like a one-day con and also on a Sunday. Like it was pretty packed. So as a cosplay guest, my responsibilities were basically to judge the cosplay contest later tonight and just, you know, be sort of like a person in cosplay because, I mean, who doesn't like to see cosplays at con? And let me tell you, Lantern Rite did not disappoint with the number of cosplayers. Like you can see in this one frame alone, there's like 6 of them. So I was mostly handling that and holding down the fort at the booth. Right here is all of the artist alley, which is basically the next room over. I didn't actually go into the artist alley, so this is my first viewing of the artist alley. Let me say, I should have gotten some cards. This art is cute, but I'm broke, so I will live vicariously through this. This con was super fun to attend and guest at. I really enjoyed judging everyone that had come up to our booth and also running the cosplay competition, which sadly we didn't get clips for. But I did have a ton of fun doing that and meeting everyone and talking to everyone and all of the cool cosplays that came by. So I just want to say, if you stopped by my booth and you said hi and we talked, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I hope I can do more of this in the future. Of course, if you want to make your own Noelle cosplay, I have her complete cosplay patterns and tutorials on Ko-Fi and Etsy. And as always, thank you so much to my patrons for helping support this channel and my work, and an extra special thank you to Bulls.